Alright guys, welcome back to the Meta Plays Golden Gift Qualifier number 1. We've got the TheRapl here on the right side of the map in the red trunks. Up against Lordi here on the left side of the map in the blue trunks. Poseidon. So Hades versus Poseidon, a Greek versus Greek with different major gods. So it's a cavalry versus archers matchup here. Will Hippocons save the day here, or will Toxotes and Gastras reign supreme? So yeah, Lure just going down now. So Lordi taking out all these elks just so they don't tie up Lure draw time. TheRapl's spread across all the elk anyway, just because it's positioning them quite nicely as they are. Sort of worth having them trickle that tiny amount of food in order to actually get the best gather time here. Even split all the villages up so they're not bumping into one another, wasting any time with walk time. Bit rough that this guy's all the way over here too, so that's going to be quite a bit of walk time there for Lordi. So in the grand scheme of things, do these always end up mattering? No, but at the higher levels you go, I guess the more likely it is going to make a difference, because you just squeeze out that little bit more resources. So in the event you'd otherwise be like 8 food or 10 food short of getting that last hoplite or hippocon out, it may make the difference. But you know, if it's going to cost you a lot of time actually scouting properly or things like that, and as we see Lordi's deleting the scout, it might be worthwhile to invest your attention and unit management elsewhere. But in saying that, if you're sort of comfortable with how you're going and how easy it is to just autopilot your way through things with what you're doing in the early game so far, then maybe it is time to sort of look at stacking hunts perfectly around your granaries and having your villages on individual trees and spaced across the gold mine as best as possible. And that way you probably don't see it as much, because particularly with most of the civs not being too wood heavy early on in terms of their unit production, but in some of the other games like AOE and AOE4, people will often produce a lot more than one storehouse as the drop off point as they cut through the wood lines too, just to again really cut down on any excess villager walking time or bumping into each other time, because it all just eats up time they could be spending just dropping off and working away at gathering ore. So Lordi going for a bit of harass here. Quite nice, quite safe at home too at the moment. So Ajax going to hit the field, but TheRapl just pulling back the low villages. Gonna leave one of the lower villages, or 2 of them, sorry, but the lowest of all gonna head home just to go on another resource. But pretty neck and neck fight between these 2 heroes, I think. So Lordi's just gonna come home, grab this relic, which is damage for rams and ram styles myth units. I'll take the fight because Hippolyta, yeah, it's back him up in a second. But villagers, the TheRapl will make it tough for Theseus to take that fight one-on-one. Lordi is going to grab stables. Minotaur on the field for TheRapl. He's gone classical age. Lordi's gone classical and will have a centaur, ceasefire. We're going to have restoration. So TheRapl going to go to town centre first. Not worry about military production for the moment, but it's going to have to use Chiron. Try and guard the town centre for now. Managed to grab Capesh of Horus, so probably a bit more impactful earlier on than a relic that's going to benefit against Rams. I'm going to be able to kill off Theseus here probably, but the settlement will be slowed down slightly. Hippocron's really low, and restoration being used just to top everything up. Try and save that Minotaur a little bit longer. Ajax as well. Probably needs to be focusing down that low Hippocron. So Lordi for now seems to have denied the settlement. TheRapl going to have to go for a range, and the stable's back at home. Some nice early aggression here from Lordi. Lordi going to grab a forward-ish town centre. I suppose they all sort of are forward, but this would probably be the safe one as such. So double range, double stables now for TheRapl, so he's actually going to have the upper hand in terms of unit production, while also going to be on the back foot in terms of eco here. It's a bit of a twist and turn of events where Lordi had gone for the more aggressive strategy, but now it's going to be the player, I guess, in the more boomy position, but there's more army on the field for the moment, just denying some resources. Hippogon's going to attempt to disrupt TheRapl's eco, try and put him a little bit further behind, because Lordi right now going to be up that second town centre very soon, so double villager production. Taking out another villager. On top of that, going to have bigger eco quite soon. At the same time, TheRapl has a lot of military production on the go now and enough villagers to sustain it. Pretty tidy here at home. A couple of Hippogons just to try and frontline against the enemy Hippogons. Just make sure that the Toxotes aren't going to get shit on by an anti-ranged cavalry unit. Same time, I think the relative damage that the range units do to the anti-range cav in AOM is a little bit higher than it is in the other AoE games. Like trying to use archers against knights in AoE 4, or trying to use like the bowmen in AoEO against like Asabara or raiders, you are literally just fucking wasting population. Whereas here, at least, if TheRapl can take an engagement with the Hippocons in good number, because the Toxotes are just a little bit cheaper per pop, a little bit quicker to train, he can actually take a really nice fight head on and not worry so much about having to overextend so heavily with the range to try and hit the opponent. Like if you were to play this sort of style in like AoE or AoE 4, in that position, I think it'd pretty much kill you, because yeah, like knights or Asabara or raiders, just the advantage they've got over the ranged units in the game is just so huge. Then again, the range is so much stronger against the infantry, and infantry so much stronger against hippogons. Well, hippogons equivalent. Because now TheRapl really applying pressure with a huge number of Toxotes, yeah, against hippogons. Like, bearing in mind, Lordi did invest in a second town center, and it is pretty expensive to do so and to fund the villages. So there are other differences in the intricacies between the games and their like economies and relative costs of things. But it is interesting to see people really use Toxotes in the face of hippocon production or that sort of thing. So now TheRapl can really apply a lot of pressure, and there just simply isn't enough hippocons here for Lordi to try and surround and kill this. Even though in theory he is just printing out the counter unit. Bearing in mind, TheRapl is investing in unit upgrades with medium hippocon here. While Lordi does have unupgraded hippocons. The villager being picked off there by TheRapl, so he can apply some good pressure here. Yeah, Toxotes as well here for Lordi. He wants to have a bit of range to try and trade into the enemy range there. So more villagers of Lordi's being picked off here by TheRapl, so it's a nice harass for him and rough for Lordi because it's going to slow down the eco quite substantially. Losing that army there, I mean that Lordi's going to have to hold off a little bit longer before he can really look at trying to push his opponent back out of his base. Going up to 3 town center to 1. This is a nice eco lead potentially. At the same time, you do need to hold on to actually produce units to defend here, and some hippocons being singled out once again, and TheRapl's got a much bigger army. Another villager being singled out here. Well, Lordi's attempting to disrupt the second town center attempt here, and it's working really well. TheRapl is going to get a second one either way because he was going to try and take 3. TheRapl was in a wonderful spot to do so, I think, because even though Lordi has been on 3 town center for a bit, it's not been able to really muster up any great force to try and repel TheRapl. But here we go, there's a nice Toxotes ball here. Number of hippocons, but there's a lot of both unit types here inside his base, killed by his opponent, so more villagers being singled out. This is really rough. Lordi's eco probably would have wanted to have these guys garrisoned just to take out Tox a bit faster and not actually lose them there. At the same time, his 3rd town center been delayed quite a while now. The hippocons just focusing on Ajax instead of on the villagers. Not going to be able to get a lot of value out of doing that. Now he's just going to keep Ajax busy. We could have come back and maybe snipe that villa or just tag them all to just break them up and stop them gathering. I mean, stop them building. TheRapl's in the position that once he takes this, I think he'll be able to just get all the way up to the max population that he can. Well, Lordi, he's struggling to maxing out here in this position, I think, because he's just bled so many units, particularly vills, but also lost quite a few army. Bled town center each. Now that Lordi's in a much nicer spot in terms of, I guess. Oh no, I guess it's pretty even in terms of their map coverage now. This is completely undefended though, and no walls to protect it, but TheRapl's going to wall off the rest of his base and look at just pushing through here, so he's pretty right in that regard, but so Lordi was looking to be a little quicker on the wall off. TheRapl has other ideas, so a couple of Tox just to interrupt a little bit of gathering.
Πρόσεχε.
One of the bills being sniped as well.
Έτοιμος.
The war builders being slowed down. It's going to hurt Lordi a little bit because another village are going to get picked off. Big engagement going down now. A Hippocon advantage here for TheRapl. Lordi was attempting to try and repel this, you know, stream of one Toxotes harass over here, and it's ended up punishing him because a couple of the Hippocons missing from the fight. And TheRapl hitting that gold mine. And now he's actually kept pushing through here, sending some shades and Ajax and keeping up that stream of Toxotes. Lordi's sort of being punished in both gold mines there, which is a little bit rough. Still has access to another one back here though. And a little bit of gold in the bank actually. It's probably not such a huge blow at the moment. But still, a lot of villages have fallen. There's a bit of pressure here. South town centre.
Πρόσεχε.
TheRapl just continuing to zone the gold mine for the time being. It's going to go to heroic age for Lordi. I think it'll be fine to get to heroic age eventually here, but it'll be slightly delayed. And once he gets there, TheRapl might turn things up a notch with use a bit more of a late game composition, adding some siege, some more upgrades for these guys. GG curse being used there, and Lordi tapping out actually because TheRapl's now hitting that last gold mine, and with that'll be, how many piggies have we got here? Probably 9. Either way, it's big chunk of your army going down once curse hits the field. So TheRapl taking game number 1.